So, our conversation today, and this is from a no judgment point. It's just lately you see so many relationships and they don't withstand the test of time. And I'm like, what is going on? And when you stop and realize that you should treat your relationship like any other interaction. Unajua vile before you go and give someone your ideas the way you want to sign your non-disclosures and whatnot, just treat your relationship like you would a business, right? And today I'm asking you, do you tell your partner things they need to work on to improve the quality of your relationship? And in a nutshell, what I'm talking about is communication. How are you communicating to your partner? I feel like the same way we have continuous assessment in our workplaces, we should apply the same metric to our relationships and normalize having certain conversations, like asking your partner, is there something you need me to work on? You understand? Do you like how I fight? Because there's people who you're not fighting to resolve something, you just like winning. You know those things. Also, ask your partner things like, how can you do a better job at being, their partner? In fact, I feel like you should be sitting down. Okay, I'm going to leave the time period to your discretion, but maybe quarterly and just be like, go for a date, the two of you, leave the kids at home if you have any. If you're just in a relationship, you have no kids. If you're not married, you're just seriously dating. Like, just go, checks and balances. What has worked for us? What do you do right? Of course, start with the good. I like it when you do this. I love it when you do that. It's always awesome and thoughtful when you do this. Right? And then you get with the inaitwa SWOT analysis. So talk about the strengths, and then now you can get to the challenges, the weaknesses, the stumbling blocks, the things that you should continuously keep improving on, right? Like listening, because I feel like many times some men don't know how to listen. Yeah? And you talk about things like respect. I don't like it when you do this. I feel disrespected. Maybe you'll find out the other person's intention is not to disrespect you. It's probably your interpretation that is the problem. So I just feel like constant communication and not just speaking, it's how you communicate will play a big factor in, how strong your relationship will continue being. And I just thought about it. And I was like, it's even nice to have a score, have a scorecard, probably the same way you, the sort of tunafanyia watu kwa ofisi, the continuous improvement, probably apply them into your relationship. And also talk about things that you liked at the onset, at the beginning of the relationship that probably your partner has neglected or has stopped doing. Tell them, I missed it when, I used to like it when you used to do this, but then you stopped. You should probably bring that back because it was, fantastic. And listen to each other. Listen to each other. Listen to each other. Because I feel like communication is normally the door to understanding one another. I feel like lately, most of our conversations are, it's not working, just leave. And I'm like, you don't stay without a game plan as well. You're staying, and then what is your next course of action? And I was like, it's really good to have very guided communication. Like when I want to, I'm a yeller, or rather I used to be a yeller. Not that yeller, as in when I don't feel like I'm heard, I tend to, a few octaves up. And it took me such a long time to realize that maybe my partner doesn't like my tone. And then when something is just fresh out the oven in form of domes, he likes to walk away, for instance. I'm giving just an example. He likes to walk away, go cool off, and then he comes when things are not so heated, and then we can probably sit down and have a conversation. And then there's also the escapists. There's the people who will never want a sit down, like mature people, like grown-ups. Mnaitana mkutano, and you're like, sit here. I don't like how this went down. You just kind of walk away from the issue, and then when you feel like, oh, she's not mad anymore, you just sweep things under the rug and then you continue. If you don't address it, it'll come back to bite you in the diab. I kid you not. So communication is always a blanket statement. How you communicate is, I feel like, what we need to focus on. I'm really learning. I'm really working on myself so I can be a better communicator. Because the only thing you can improve on is normally yourself, so that you also have something great to offer the other partner. So I'll go again with our question of the day. And it is, do you tell your partner things they need to work on to improve the quality of your relationship? Or you just leave them to grope in the dark? Please do tell at SpiceFMKE on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You can call me up 071-901-2600. At me as well at Yolanda Mulwa, and use the hashtag Sugar and Spice. Let's get to it. Our conversation today, I was telling you, we must have continuous improvement in our relationship. Every quarter, you sit down with your partner, and you talk about the hits and the misses. You talk about what needs to be adjusted. You talk about what could use, some breathing. You put it aside and you say, okay, this one tumekata kupatana middle ground. Let's put it on the side. We might probably revisit next quarter. Because if you don't treat your relationship like that, man, there's so much lately that people have to go through. And we tend to think, why am I going through all these things, like lifing, and then you're stuck with a relationship that is not quite what you signed up for. I am team continuous improvement. Just give it your best shot. See how that pans out. This is what you had to say, your responses. Beth Mwirigi says, there's such a thing. Because we asked you on the socials, do you tell your partner things they need to work on to improve the quality of your relationship? Or do you just split like a banana? She says, there's such a thing. Is it like the performance review done at work? Yes, exactly. Someone gets me. Because my mind is unable to load. If there's an issue, si tunafa kuargue alafu tulambe glucose na tuendele ama. I love that. Tunalamba glucose tunaendelea. No. It's good to have a review and a SWOT analysis quarterly. Okay, or once every 6 months, like whatever floats your boat. Sammy Brown on Andy Hill says, yes, you have to be free to each other. When you observe some characters you don't like in your partner, do not quit the relationship instantly. Rather, correct him or her. Yolanda Mulwa. I like that. Jackie Soni Khadija says, I think this can only apply to people with partners because the singular association, we have no one to give scores to. We score ourselves. No. Work on yourself. Make sure you're a decent partner to someone so that when you're meeting someone, you're not half-cooked. Sindio? In the relationship department. Ras Carter says, they don't hear though. Where? Wait. Just DM me. You need some remedial work. Baba Wanda says, everything in life is a workout. Change is good for both of us. Wherever there's errors that need fixing, we have to talk about it. I like it. I like that we're on the same page today. And Stephen has something to add to this conversation. He says, let me look for the tweet. Very interesting. It's something that should be done, but rarely done. We just keep it moving, which is really wrong. It's no wonder. I just feel like if you move with precision and intention, and if you give your partner half of what you give your employer, you'd probably be in a better relationship. We give so much of ourselves to our employers, where we work, to our businesses, to our friendships. And then we just, whatever remains, if anything at all, that's what we want to pour back into our relationships. That's why everyone's just salty, feeling like love is the problem, relationships are the problem, and they're not. Hakeem Brian says, yes, why not? You're listening from Eldoret. And Babawanda says, love the outfit. Above all, communicate where necessary. Absolutely. So some of your comments, and if you're around a supermarket, go grab your Sensodyne toothpaste. Cindy, make sure you're not shotuaing guys with that dragon breath. Cindy, let's listen to what you had to say when Agnes spoke to you.
My name is Sam, and yes, open and honest communication is essential in any relationship, as it helps both of you grow and also strengthen the relationship. However, how you communicate these things matters.
Yes, it is important to talk openly with your partner about things that need to be worked on. I think being honest about areas where improvement needs helps both of your growth together, and this shows that you care about the relationship and you're willing to put in efforts to make it stronger.
Yeah, I do tell my partner on the things that she needs to improve on. At the same time, I also encourage her, to tell me on also what I should improve on, because I believe if you don't treat it when it is a small wound, it keeps building up and eventually it will be a cancer that will lead to a breakup.
My name is Tom Alela, and I'm a traditionalist. I follow what my grandfathers and parents did quite successfully, which was kila mtu atumie brain yake kuona what ought to be done. So basically for us, we don't tell them, it's them to figure out. As we do our bit, I do my bit, I provide for the family, I educate the kids, I take care of the bills. So it's upon the lady to shape up or shape out. Thank you.
Yeah, I think the biggest foundation for any relationship is open communication. And by the time you see something long-term with this person, then definitely you'll tell them when they're on the wrong or when they're on the right, or some things that they don't do that please you and those that excite you. So open communication is very necessary in any relationship so that we don't continue with assumptions. Yeah.